Hello and welcome to Miniature Addiction Club. My name's Lou and today I'm making a miniature Christmas diorama underneath a glass dome. I started by staining this adhesive wood veneer sheeting with some watered down acrylic paint. Then I cut thin strips and peeled off the backing, sticking them down to the base. I alternated the spacing to create a realistic floorboard effect. Then I trimmed off the excess with a sharp blade. I sketched out the shape of the wall and cut it out of some foam board, then I glued down the wallpaper. The wallpaper I'm using is the Strawberry Thief design by William Morris. I found a scaled down free printable version which I will link down below. I love this wallpaper design because the colours really suit the traditional Christmas style that I'm going for, kind of like the iconic wallpaper in the Home Alone house. I trimmed off the excess paper, leaving a small strip which I cut and folded over the edges of the foam board. I made this fireplace by cutting down a small wooden picture frame to create the main section, and I used popsicle sticks to create the base and mantle. For the inside of the fireplace, I used some foam board with an arch cut out of it and glued it to a piece of cardboard. Then I painted it with some matte black acrylic paint. Once it was dry, I glued it into the fireplace surround and painted the rest of the fireplace. I found some scrap pieces of miniature skirting board in my stash and cut these to size. I glued these to the wall along with the fireplace. Off camera, I added some printed paper tiles to the bottom of the fireplace. I had this little fire basket in my miniature collection and I'm just gluing it in place. Then I added a mirror that I made by gluing a round mirror into the gold lid of a candle. And lastly, I glued on this little wall light. I also had this miniature Christmas wreath in my collection, but to make it look more realistic, I'm painting it a darker green. Then I added some white stars and gold beads to decorate it. And I'm just gluing it in place above the mirror. I bought this miniature Christmas tree on sale last year and I'm going ahead and wrapping it with some seed fairy lights. I tried to wrap it as tightly as I could to bury the wire inside the foliage. Then I cut off the remaining lights. I only recommend doing this if they are designed to be cut. This is not recommended for traditional string lighting, as cutting them can cause the remaining lights to burn out quickly or create an electrical hazard. So please do be careful. Now it's time to decorate the tree. I traditionally decorate my tree each year whilst listening to Mariah Carey's Christmas album or Michael Bublé. Let me know in the comments below what your favourite Christmas tradition is. First, I'm adding this decorative gold trim to the tree. Then I added different coloured beads as the Christmas baubles. Next, I added a few red bows to add some contrast. And to finish it off, I attached a gold star to the top of the tree with UV resin. I found this little Santa Claus decoration at a second-hand shop, and I went ahead and painted it to make it look a bit more realistic. To make a candle holder, I glued two earring backs together with a piece of wire through the middle for support. Then I painted it with gold acrylic paint. Once that had dried, I cut off the extra wire and added a candle. To make the presents, I cut up some scraps of cardstock and foam board. I made this printable sheet of miniature Christmas wrapping paper, which will be available as a PDF file for my paid Patreon members. I wrapped each one in wrapping paper, gluing the paper in place. I also post exclusive videos for my Patreon superfans, and this month I will be showing you in detail how I made the miniature working snow globe for this project. To make the glass of milk, I took some clear plastic tubing and placed some tape to the bottom. I added a thin layer of UV resin to seal the bottom of the glass, and then mixed some white acrylic paint with some dimensional magic. I added this to the glass and cleaned the paint off the edges. If you've watched some of my other Christmas videos, you might have seen me using this gingerbread mold I made. I am lazy, so I'm using it again this year to create some gingerbread cookies to leave out for Santa. I also made some candy canes out of polymer clay by twisting red and white together before rolling into thin snakes and shaping. Next, I made some small buttons and eyes for the gingerbread man. I added a small curved snake for the mouth and baked them in the oven. As I mentioned before, I also made this miniature working snow globe. If you would like to see how I made it, the tutorial will be on my Patreon page under the paid membership tier. I found this yarn at my local craft shop and I'm painting it to make it look like a Christmas garland to drape over the mantelpiece. And now it's time to put it all together. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season and a safe and happy Christmas.